Eddington from filmmaker Ari Aster is now showing in UK cinemas, and it seeks to remind viewers of the chaotic year that even 5 years on we're still mentally and physically recovering from. Though as much as we would like to forget it, the exhausting barrage of 2020 nonetheless happened, and now all we can do is reflect, laugh, cry, and maybe learn. Unfortunately, very few of those things apply to Eddington, an ambitious but faltering western set during that fateful year in the titular New Mexico town, which like the rest of the world is in the midst of the pandemic, with mask mandates and social distancing enforced by Pedro Pascal's Mayor Ted Garcia, all of which are detested by the town sheriff Joe Cross, played by Joaquin Phoenix, who refuses to comply and views them as an attack on personal freedoms. So in response, but mostly out of spite for Garcia, Joe kickstarts his own mayoral candidacy, recruiting his fellow officers as campaign staff and turning his police cruiser into a propaganda machine, much to the dismay of his troubled wife Louise, who's Emma Stone, and her conspiracy-obsessed mother Dawn, who's Deirdre O'Connell from The Penguin, both of whom soon fall under the sway of cultish conspiracy theorist Vernon Jefferson Peake, played by Austin Butler. But what begins as a petty rivalry spirals into chaos as Joe fuels his ambition with increasingly reckless choices. Aster, whose finest work remains his 2018 debut feature Hereditary, has the makings of a biting 2020 satire but rarely delivers. For instead of incisive commentary, he leans on shock tactics such as sudden violence, offensive slurs, and dialogue that reads like obnoxious Twitter drafts from extremists on both sides of the political spectrum. But while it sometimes provokes a reaction, it seldom feels purposeful, which one might argue such disorientation is supposed to mirror 2020 itself, but Aster fails to shape it into a meaningful statement within his own story. This is frustrating because there are strong elements here, including flashes of humour that are largely at the expense of the incompetent Joe and his crony deputies, whose political scheming distracts them from actual law enforcement while their town unravels. And the ensemble cast is committed, as Phoenix embodies a self-destructive sheriff, while Stone and Butler, though underused in comparatively brief roles, make memorable impressions. While the cinematography also deserves praise, evoking ghost town isolation with desolate streets and wide desert frames. Yet these components never merge into something greater, with the film too often feeling like a mean-spirited caricature of a society flailing through crisis, as well as an uncomfortable reflection of how insufferable we all became in 2020, which again could be what Aster intended, but even if so, it lands without substance, only offering the bleak notion that humanity is petty, spiteful, and reckless. Like the year it depicts, the 2-star Eddington is something you'll likely want to forget ever happened, but unfortunately it did. Visit the Film Feeder website to read my more detailed review, but for now, thanks for watching, please like and subscribe for more reviews, and I'll see you next time.